I hope you're all well and enjoying April so far, I guess, as much as you can be. But today, as you might have seen by the title of this video, I think I'm just gonna try and do like a very chilled, chatty video, kind of like my university experience and why I left, and then a few questions at the end which some people on Instagram have asked me. But yeah, it's just gonna be very chilled, and in no way am I telling you that university sucks and that you shouldn't go, and like, you know, I'm not being like that. I'm literally just telling you my opinions and why I personally left. And yeah, but also, can we just appreciate my fish jug? Literally, right, basically I've got, let me move all this so you can see. Look at all my tulips. I freaking love tulips, they're my favorite flower. But this jug, right, is so amazing. So when you pour it, it like guggles like a fish. I'll show you, hang on. This is it here, and when you pour it, it makes like a guggle noise. Ready? Listen. Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. Anyway, I'm just literally gonna grab my cuppa and we can get chatting, I guess. So yeah, the first thing is I kind of just go for like all the basics and order stuff. So I just finished sixth form and I decided like I didn't really want to go to university and that I wasn't ready. But anyway, I had a year out just to kind of like do whatever, work, and then I was going to go to university after that year had finished. So that takes us to 2018 September. I had decided to go to Middlesex University in London and I applied to study fashion communication. Wait, hang on. No, this is all going wrong. Okay, right, let me go back. So, because I had a year out, that made me a mature student. I had decided to apply for Middlesex University and I got in, but I applied for fashion communication. But purely because I was a mature student and I had been out of education for that year, my skill set wasn't really like as wide as they would want it, I guess. And like also my portfolio and stuff didn't really showcase much other skills. So they put me down for fashion foundation for my first year, which would cover all kind of like arty subjects and skills and stuff. And I would build a portfolio up for that. And then I could go into fashion communication, which is the course I wanted to do. But I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, I was happy that they put me down for the foundation because personally I felt like that was a really good decision for me, and like I agreed with them for making that choice. So I was happy with that. So 2018 September, I moved to Middlesex University and I was in a shared accommodation of like halls. So in my little kind of flat, I think there was 8 of us, and we all had like our own bedroom, a little ensuite bathroom, and then we shared a big kitchen. And yeah, I just didn't enjoy the living situation. I didn't really like my accommodation that much anyway, but it was really close to the university, so that's why I picked it. I was thankful that I had my own ensuite bathroom, because if I had to share that, then God forbid, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't actually at university for that long, so I didn't drop out in like the second year, or after the first year I dropped out within like probably the first month, which is really, really soon, which I'm like fully aware of. I'm fully aware that I dropped out very, very soon. And you know, a lot of people are always like, oh, if you gave it more time then you might have really liked it. And yeah, maybe, but at the time I knew that I just didn't enjoy it. So I had a few lectures or like classes or whatever, and they were okay, but I didn't enjoy them. And yeah, that time at university was the lowest point in my life I've ever felt. And that might sound so dramatic, but I've never felt so low. Eli, my boyfriend, he was currently starting university in Brighton. So I was having to deal with a long distance relationship. I was dealing with being away from family, which I'm so close with, and I'm such a family person. So being away from them was like a huge thing I was trying to deal with as well. Trying to deal with the fact that I didn't really have any friends that I don't know, like I felt I could really get on with or just be myself with, and I wasn't sure on the subject, and I was in London and I was like, where the fuck am I? It just, everything kind of was all happening at once, and I felt so shit. I felt fucking shit. But anyway, yeah, I came to the decision to leave because I knew deep down I wasn't happy. And you're probably thinking, oh, why did you go to university in the first place? So basically, after sixth form, I knew, like I said, I wanted to take a year out and just work, and then I would go to university. But then when that year was up, I still wasn't sure whether I felt ready to go to university. Like, I still wasn't 100% sure whether it was for me, but I didn't know what else to do with my life. So I kind of just thought like me going to university would sort everything out, which I know is probably like the stupidest thing to say. But I was like, yeah, go to university, get a degree, sort my life career out and all this, and it would all fall into place, when I didn't want to go. Like, I didn't want to go, but I didn't know what else to do with my life. And I was like, yeah, this will just sort it out. And I think my older sister, she went to university and she graduated, and I was like, wow, that's so amazing. And I think I almost felt like I had to follow in her footsteps as well to live up to that. So there was like kind of loads of different reasons. So that's why I went. And when I was at university, and I was just sat there going, why am I paying all this money for something that I don't really think I want to do? But because I left within a time frame, I didn't have to pay back my tuition fee. So if I left it any longer, I would have to have paid back that tuition fee. So I think that's why I left so early, because I knew deep down, I was like, yeah, this shit's not for me. And I was like, if I leave now, then I don't have to pay my tuition fee. And I was like, yeah, like 100%. Because I was like, I didn't want to just wait around and think, oh, maybe I will like it, and then, you know, 2 months down the line, I'm like, shit, no, I really don't like this, and then have to pay my tuition fee. So that is why I decided to leave so early. And yeah, I agree, like maybe if I did stay there longer, then it would have been for me and I would have really liked it. But me deciding to leave was probably the best decision I've ever made. Like, it's just, I don't know. For some, like, university is for some people, and some people absolutely love it. But it's not me. I hated being a student. I guess I could tell you what happened afterwards. Anyway, so afterwards, I told the uni that I wanted to leave, and they were fine about it. And then within a few weeks, mum and dad drove up to London, picked me up with all my stuff, and we drove back down to the Isle of Wight, which is where I originally come from. And I moved back home in my old little bedroom, and I was really, really lucky that my old boss, who is an absolute gem, she gave me my old job back at Topshop, which I'm so grateful for. Like, honestly, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for her. So I managed to get my old job back at Topshop, and I worked there for 3 months, just trying to figure out what to do. And that's when I decided, like, right, okay, I'm going to go for a job in London. And I got another job at Topshop, then at the Marble Arch store, and then that's when I decided to move to London and work full-time in a retail job. But yeah, that's not really related to the whole university experience, but that's what I did afterwards. But anyway, I've got loads of questions from some people on Instagram, which I think will answer or give you more details, I think. But I didn't want to like repeat myself twice, so I've kind of saved some things for the questions. I don't know, just go through it now. Although there's no order to these questions either, so sorry. Did you live in halls or a share house, and what was your experience? So yes, I lived in halls. Like I explained, it was like a flat of 8 people, I think, all had en suites, and we shared a kitchen. It was okay. The people were lovely, but they weren't my kind of people, so I kind of didn't, like I might have mentioned earlier, like I just didn't feel like I could have been myself. And yeah, okay, was it hard for you to find friends? It's difficult, like yes and no. Like, you really have to put in a lot of effort to find friends, I think. It was really difficult for me because although it might not seem it, I'm massively shy. Like, yeah, okay, I've got YouTube and Instagram, but I'm quite confident in front of the camera when it's just me, myself, or me and my boyfriend, or me and my friends. But put me in a crowd of people or a big group of people and I literally crumble. I hate it. So being in big groups of people, trying to find friends, I was freaking out. So I personally, I felt like I struggled, but I tried to not let that show. So I did make a couple friends, and there was 2 girls in particular that I met through my course, and they were amazing and so supportive and so funny. But apart from them 2, I would say yes, I did struggle to find friends. If I didn't have them, I think I would have been very lost and felt even more lonely than I did. How did your parents respond to you quitting university? Did you ever feel like a failure? I think they were quite shocked at first when I told them. My dad is very, very career driven, which I think is so inspiring and it's amazing. So I think he was like, you need to make sure that you are 100% sure this is what you want to do and have a backup plan. I didn't have a backup plan, but my mum and dad, they only ever want what's best for me and for me to be happy. So they were so understanding about it and so incredible. And yeah, like, I think obviously, I don't know whether they were upset about it, but they never made me feel like a failure at all. Never. They were so supportive, and I would FaceTime them every night in tears going, I don't know what to do. And they would give me their opinions, they'd listen to me cry and rant. And I'm very, very lucky with how my parents responded, and I appreciate it so much with how they did and how much they've supported me. Like, yeah. But did I ever feel like a failure? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, although I made this decision by myself, I felt like the biggest fucking failure ever. I was like, oh my god, people are gonna call me a dropout, it means I'm stupid, like I'm a lowlife and all this lot. And like, it doesn't mean that, but my mind was just overthinking, and because I'm so paranoid and insecure, I was giving myself all these labels, and I was convinced that that was what people were thinking of me, when they weren't at all. But it took me, I don't know, I think it took me like the 2 or 3 months to realise that I'm not a failure, and it's actually quite, I don't know, like strong and empowering to actually admit to yourself and to others, like your family, like, yeah, this shit's not for me, I need to leave. So yes, I felt like a failure, but I realised that I was like, do you know what, fuck it, and I'm not a failure. So yeah. Was there an exact moment you knew uni wasn't right for you? I guess after my first week of lectures. Yeah, so I guess I realised that pretty soon. I don't know, sorry. If you would go back to uni now, what would you study? I wouldn't go back. No, let me answer this for you. So if I had to go back now, fuck, I really don't know. If I had to go back, then maybe I would do fashion communication and try that out again, but yeah, it would take a lot for me to go back. What was it that you didn't enjoy? Gosh, lots of things. I'm literally just gonna list them. Didn't enjoy having uni work. Didn't enjoy the fact that I couldn't earn money. Didn't enjoy the fact of living with other people. Didn't enjoy the fact that I was away from family or my boyfriend. Didn't enjoy the fact I was in debt. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that. Were you ever homesick? If so, what did you do about it? Lots of love from Germany. Thank you, Germany. Yes, I was homesick a lot. Like I mentioned, I'm a very kind of home person. I love being at home. I love being with my family so much. So to move away from that was really, really difficult for me to try and cope with. But when I did feel homesick, I just FaceTimed the shit out of them. I literally would FaceTime a family member every single night, and I would speak to them, like text them all the time as well. I used to do the stupid thing where I'd look back on pictures. I used to literally scroll through all my pictures while I was crying and having like tears fall down my face. Don't do that, because I don't know, maybe do that. No, don't do that. I don't think it's good for you. Although it's good to cry, but like, yeah, that made me feel even shitter. Maybe don't do that, I don't know. Do you regret dropping out of uni? And when you dropped out of uni, were you afraid of not finding a job? Okay, do you regret dropping out of uni? No, 110%. No, I don't regret it. When you dropped out of uni, were you afraid of not finding a job? Yeah, I was. But I was quite lucky because, like I mentioned, my old Topshop boss, oh shit, I've just spilled tea all over my legs and the sofa. Yeah, so like I mentioned, my old boss from Topshop, she was actually kind of like in contact with me still anyway and was asking how it was going, and I just brought up the fact, I was like, yeah, it's not for me, I'm leaving and I'm going to move back to the Isle of Wight. I can't remember the exact conversation actually, but she said that she might have some hours for me to start working, and I was like, oh my god, that would be amazing, thank you so much. And she was like, yeah, I'll keep you updated. And I think at the back of my mind, like knowing that I had the possibility that I could find or get that job did put me at ease. But if I didn't receive that text from my boss, then I think, yeah, I would be afraid of not getting the job. If I'm being completely honest, that wasn't really crossing my mind. I was more focusing on the fact, like, I need to get out of here, get home, sort my head out, because it was all over the place. And then I was like, then I can think about a job. And it actually kind of worked out quite well, because I got home, and I think I got home like beginning of November, and I wasn't starting the Topshop job until December. So I had like a good month to kind of figure everything out, sort my head out, get back to normality. Yeah, so that worked out quite well. Someone asked, what did you study? Like I mentioned, I studied I studied fashion foundation to then go on to fashion communication. Should I bring you closer? Is that better? I don't know, we'll just leave it like this. Did you make any close friends that you still talk to now? Not really. But I think if I went to university longer and I was there throughout, I don't know, until I finished or graduated, then I think, yeah, I would have really, really close friends, and I would keep in contact with them after I finished university. But for my situation, no, I don't. But that's because I wasn't there long enough to really create like a strong friendship, so I'm the one to blame for that. And then last question, was there anything you did like about being at uni? I guess the one thing that I did like about uni was that that was my first time moving away from home, so it made me feel a lot more like independent, like I was ready for the world. So cheesy as that is. Yeah, I guess that was all really. I'm really sorry if this video was so shit and not helpful at all, but people said on Instagram that they kind of wanted to see me chat about my university experience. So yeah, that was it. That was my little university experience. It wasn't very long at all. This is it really. I'm going to pop a film on and eat my Easter egg. I'm currently making my way through all the Marvel films, and I'm probably like a quarter of the way through all of them. But make sure you all stay home and stay safe and stay positive. Sending you all lots and lots of love, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.